Here we are again for our sixth and final installment of our last will and testament video series. I hope we've answered some questions you may have had about this sometimes uncomfortable legal topic. Today, we've got 6 things to consider in the final step to making your will. These are practical nuts and bolts type stuff, but they are super important. You've put lots of thought into how you want your estate handled, and it would be rough on everyone if your plan fails because your will wasn't executed properly. So let's go through the basics that you need to keep in mind. If these things fail, someone could try to challenge the effectiveness of your will. Here's what's involved in signing your will, and we will go over these in a moment. Number 1, you must have the legal capacity to sign. Number 2, you must be signing freely. Number 3, you have to sign and date it in your handwriting in the appropriate places. 4, witnesses must see you actually signing. 5, you need to keep the original copy safe. And 6, you can consider signing a self-proving affidavit. Let's go through these briefly. Capacity. Do you have the proper capacity to sign your will? In the legal world, this means you are at least 18 years old, have a clear mental understanding of what you're doing, what property you own, who your relatives are, and what this document does for you. You also must be physically able to sign, or at least make your legal mark on the page. Signing freely. Are you sure about what you're doing? Is anyone pressuring you to sign this? Perhaps someone has something to gain by you signing this document now. You may not be ready to sign. These would be bad things. Signing. Assuming you are okay with these 2 aspects, get your final draft ready. Now gather your witnesses, and while they are watching, sign the end of the document in ink and also initial each page. The pages should be numbered, and adding your initials to the pages will tell the world that you were aware of each page, and no one would be able to insert a page afterwards. Witnesses. Who makes the best witnesses? It's best to keep it objective. No one named in the will in any way should sign as a witness. Remember, we just talked about avoiding someone influencing you to sign. The witnesses should be over the age of 18 also, and no matter what state you are in, you will need 2 witnesses. They will sign and print their names and addresses on the document too. If needed, they may have to testify about what they saw when you signed. The completed will. Once it's signed, your will is valid. Now what? Well, the court will require the original copy to be presented. A photocopy won't do. It's important that the original copy be kept safe and sound. A dry, secure, fireproof location is key. Someone beside you should know where that is so that they can find it for the court. Now you can sit back and enjoy your peace of mind, knowing you've done something to help your family. There are some states that will allow you to pre-record your will with the court. You can check with your probate clerk to see if that's possible for you. It can save some searching later. Just remember that there may be fees and your will may not be held confidential. But wait, there's more. Since there's always a chance that someone might have a good or not so good reason to challenge the signing of your will, you can consider attaching a self-proving affidavit to your will. It's a separate document that allows your will to be proven to the court without your witnesses having to come forward and testify. In this affidavit, the witnesses and you say that the will was properly executed. The affidavit needs to be notarized. Everyone needs to be present together in front of the notary. Again, it's not part of your will and it is not required, but it's a good idea, especially if you die years after you signed the will. So that's a lot to consider, and there's a lot at stake when you die, even if you don't have a lot of assets. Take your time making your will, but don't put it off too long. If you already had a will at some point, you may want to pull it out and see if it needs updating. Planning now may not be fun and may make your family uncomfortable, but it can help keep the peace later and give you peace of mind now. We wish you the best, and thanks for joining us.